The city of Bet Shean is known for its significance throughout history, but its outskirts are no less interesting. This area, known as Tel Rehov, standing on a high hill, was once a major city during the Israelite and Canaanite era. Although the site is not mentioned in the Bible, it does appear in ancient Egyptian manuscripts and is associated with the story of King Yehu and his battle against the prophets of the Baal, a story which appears in the Book of Kings 1.
The
story of Rehov begins not far away from here, in Tel Jezreel. Izebel, wife of King Ahab, kills Nevot and takes over his vineyard. Elijah the prophet tells her, "You have killed and also taken possession." Years later, Yehu, king of Israel, is completing the prophecy of Elijah when he kills Jehoram, son of Ahab, at the same spot where his father killed Nevot, resident of Jezreel.
Rehov is also famous as a model of one of the most ancient examples of the production of honey in the Holy Land. According to researcher Amichai Mazar, who excavated the site, some of the discoveries in Tel Rehov also indicate cultic activities related to honey.
Why is the honey so important in ancient times? First of all, if we look at the people who worshiped the moon in Jericho, for example, they were forbidden from working the land because they believe it hurts the land. They're also a society of nomads, so producing honey is something that fits well with them. It may also be an industry which competes with another big industry here at the time, the wine industry. Honey was also used in ancient medicine. We see examples of that in ancient Egypt. But there's also another advantage to this industry. The side product of honey is beeswax. And we know that in ancient Egypt, King Shishak used beeswax to make idols of the god Amun-Ra.
But perhaps the most famous archaeological discovery associated with Tel Rehov is this monumental Tel Rehov inscription, dating back to the Byzantine era of the 3rd to 6th century CE. This is the biggest Hebrew inscription of ancient times. A replica of the inscription is located nearby in Kibbutz Ein HaNadiv.
During the Byzantine era, there is a Jewish settlement in Tel Rehov. The first word in this inscription is shalom, peace or hello in Hebrew. The main content of this inscription is a description of the borders of the land of Israel for the Jews who returned from Babylonian captivity. The inscription says that Beit She'an, the biggest city of that time in this area, is a part of the land of Israel, which means it is included in the Jewish law of Shemitah, which means that every 7 years, the place is not being cultivated for a year. However, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, a very famous scholar from the 2nd century CE, said that Beit She'an doesn't have to be referred as a Jewish city since non-Jews are the majority there. So we still don't know if this inscription says that Tel Rehov is included in the list of Jewish cities which keep the Shemitah law or not.
The area is known to have one of the highest temperatures in the Middle East. Nonetheless, it became a significant stronghold throughout the year and came to a peak during the Roman Empire era. We can still see some remnants of that time, even outside of the main city of Bet Shean.
The Romans understand the significance of this place for 3 reasons. First, it's a major route which passes through different countries. Second, despite the weather, it's still a fruitful valley for agriculture. And third, it's a political statement that the Romans are trying to make when they stand in between a Jewish area and the desert. So they establish a border to protect their territory from nomad cultures that live in the desert to the east.
Today, the area is a tourist attraction mainly for those who seek to escape the hot Israeli summer, with the many fountains in the area. But the remains of the Bet Shean area may also give us an interesting glimpse of ancient times in the land of milk and honey.